So like I had predicted, we would get Ultra Supervillain Golden Frieza, but we also do have the release date for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Future Saga Chapter 3, and that is the end of October. Literally the tail end of October. It's October 30th. So I was basically right by every single prediction I had when it came to the Xenoverse DLC. As you know, and as usual for all of you believers, you guys can stay subscribed and leave a like on the video now. And for all the non-believers, you can just subscribe right now as I get further into this. But yes, like I already called out, most likely all the Ultra Supervillain antagonists are going to be, you know, DBS antagonists, right? We got Goku Black, then we got Jiren, which made it very obvious that they were going to only do DBS villains for Ultra Supervillain, because they already did regular Supervillain for DBZ villains ages ago, and not going to do it for any of the movie characters, because they're just not that popular. So DBS antagonist it is. So now that we know Frieza is the next one, that means the last one has to be Broly, right? I don't think there's any, unless if the last one is a new original character, they might be saving it for then. I honestly thought Frieza was going to be the last one, and Ultra Supervillain Broly was going to be for this DLC, but either way, my next two choices were Ultra Supervillain villain were Frieza or Broly, and we got one of them, so now the last one is very obviously Broly, or it's going to be Ultra Supervillain Fu or Mira, just maybe something unique, I don't know, but I think it's going to be DBS antagonists, because again, DBS is the new popular side of Dragon Ball, and it's the side that barely gets covered, so they can just milk it for even longer by just making, oh look, a new version of a character that has even more of their moves from the series, you know? Like Frieza doesn't have Great Death Beam, he doesn't have Grudge Strike, he doesn't have the Death Beam laser cage that he made against Dispo as an ultimate attack maybe, and he doesn't even have like a two-handed Death Ball in this game still. And those are all things that, or a two-handed Supernova, but those are all things that they can add to Frieza easily, which is why Ultra Supervillain Frieza was such an obvious pick for a character, because he's missing like a huge section of his moveset from Dragon Ball Super. And again, like I easily called out, if Broly is going to be the non-supervillain new character for the DLC, because we already know, right? If Broly's a non-supervillain new character, then Frieza is the obvious Ultra Supervillain character. Because, I mean, bro, you could... First of all, who else would want a Boom Conton City? The guy who shows up every week, or, you know, some rando villain, right? Not to mention his laughing at the end of the trailer. His laughing at the end of the trailer plus the line of, a new ruler has come, makes it very, very, very obvious that he is the final, well, not the final, but the Ultra Supervillain for this DLC pack. And I'm hyped, because you guys know I actually like playing Frieza in Xenoverse 2. I hope this does mean that Frieza gets a custom preset. And no, not First Form Frieza. I hope Final Form Frieza or Golden Frieza get a new custom partner preset, because they actually deserve it, especially if we get Ultra Supervillain Frieza. Having First Form Frieza inherit those moves would feel so freaking wrong. So please, 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 please make new custom partners, Xenoverse 2 devs. I'm begging. Oh, I should probably say, yeah, the information for the release date comes from DBS Hype. I should have said that earlier, because DBS Hype deserves all the credit he gets for actually, you know, letting us know when things go on, because some of us here don't speak Japanese or have the right sources to understand these things. So again, massive shout out to DBS Hype. Yeah, but it's actually good to see. This DLC in general just has a lot to reveal. Now, Broly, someone actually raised the very interesting topic that Broly might not actually be a base form character, because we see base Broly here alongside Cheelai. But base Broly and Cheelai might actually be lobby NPCs, and then the actual playable character will probably end up being Wrathful Broly. Now, the main reason for this is because base Broly doesn't actually fight, and I've already put, in my personal opinion, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, but in my personal opinion, I do not see base Broly turning into Wrathful Broly. I think that's, and that's going to sound rude to say, but I think that's too much for Bandai Namco Dimps to do. Do you know any other transformation in this game that caused such drastic changes to the model? Broly needs to get taller, he needs to get buffer, they would have to remove certain parts of his design, they'd have to change his facial structure, and then also change his hair to go from base to Wrathful. That's way too much for one transformation. If he's Wrathful, I can 100% see them making him go Super Saiyan, because all you have to do is change his head to yellow, take away his pupils, and then give him like the gross oily glow effect that every like transformed character has in this game. And like that's it. That's so easy to do. That's like within their parameters. But like if they could do a model change like that, then we would have got Goku Black at least going Rosé. But I think changing the hair is too much for any character that's not like a launch day character. A good example is the other characters we have that transform in the game, like Gogeta and Kaba and stuff. Their hairs are literally the same in base form as they are in Super Saiyan. I think it's transforming Z Broly might be the only time where the hair changes amongst these like newer DLC characters that transform. But then even then, that's just a hair change. That's not like as anywhere near as much as like going from base to Wrathful. So I think if they do Broly in this game, he won't be base Broly. If he is base, then that's super disappointing. I think he'll be Wrathful Broly, and then maybe he goes Super Saiyan. And that base Broly's model will probably just be for a lobby NPC, because base Broly isn't even the one that fights in most of these games anyways. I want to remind you, Fighters did Broly, and he's Wrathful Broly. Sparking Zero also did Broly, and he's Wrathful Broly. He's not actually base. You know, it's never actually his true base form. So I think when this game does him, he'll also be wrathful, because it seems like Bandai Namco Dimps have some sort of rule that says, hey, if Broly fights, he has to be in wrathful mode. He can't be in base mode, because Fighters didn't do base mode, and then Sparking Zero didn't do base mode, despite that being the transformation game. So I think he's going to be wrathful when he fights. And obviously, by the way, I don't think I need to say this, but that's better, because all of the moves that Broly is pretty much missing are moves that he does when he's not base form. A good example is Planet Crusher. That's a very easy ultimate attack to just give to Broly, because all he has is Gigantic Roar right now as a unique ultimate. Planet Crusher would be a really easy one to give him. It would make sense for his Super Saiyan mode and for his Wrathful mode. I think the only other things he'd be missing after that would be maybe like the one Ki Blast volley he does to Gogeta. You know when he shoots the Ki Blast and I start from his fingertips rather than from his hand, and it's like a whole array of Ki Blast? That, but he does that in full power Super Saiyan, to be fair. And the other thing he could be missing is a Mouth Beam as a super attack, because don't forget, Wrathful Broly does try to shoot a Mouth Blast at Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Goku pretty early on in the fight. And then the other main move that I think that he should definitely add, especially if he gets Super Saiyan, is his, like, I think it's called, like, Gigantic Crusher. It's the one he makes the 2 green Ki Blasts in his hand. It's the one he uses to beat the Kamehameha Gallic Gun team attack from Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. That's a really easy move to add, and not to mention, Dragon Ball Breakers already has that move's animations, right? Remember, Xenoverse 2 didn't have the Scythe. Breakers had the Scythe, and then the Scythe's animations from Breakers literally got ported one-to-one to Xenoverse 2. So any animations that they want to borrow or use or add to the game, they can probably just borrow from Dragon Ball Breakers, and that's a new unique animation from Breakers. I think the same with the Mouth Blast too. The Mouth Blast is new, and the Gigantic Crusher, the double green like slam move, that's also new to Breakers. They can literally port the animation one-to-one from Breakers to Xenoverse 2. And since Breakers is ending anyways, they're probably going to get really shameless and just take everything Breakers has. So even the new Father Son Kamehameha from Breakers might actually get added to Xenoverse 2 as well. One thing I think that would be cool is that if he was Base Broly, it'd be nice to see Base Broly have Cheelai be part of his moveset. I don't know, kind of like the way Daima Goku fights in Gekishin Squadron, or the way like some other characters fight in Fighters, where there's a whole other character that you don't get to play as, but they just jump in every now and then to aid with like combo damage, or like as a super attack or as a special attack. I think that'd be cool, but it would definitely be less. I think people would want that less than having one, Broly's actual fighting mode, and then 2, having a Super Saiyan version of DBS Broly. Like, not full power Super Saiyan, just actual Super Saiyan. And the best part is, all of those moves get added to custom Broly, because don't forget, we do have a custom DBS Broly now. So all of those moves get added to DBS Broly, and I think that would be super cool, DBS Broly having an even more accurate version of his main moveset, because what they gave him in Xenoverse 2 is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's like not enough, bro. Powered Shell feels more like a DBZ Broly move. He's just throwing one singular, like, small ball projectile rather than a giant beam. You know, DBS Broly throws out like giant big beams, you know, giant like energy balls, not like these small energy balls. So I would like to see these if he gets these new Wrathful moves, I would like to see them get added to his full power variant, because that would obviously be ideal. Alright, Chads, I have rambled on long enough. I think that is a perfect place to end the video. Again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe, it greatly supports the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, or what you thought in general about everything discussed here today, because I think my idea that Golden Frieza and Broly are the last 2 Ultra Supervillains still holds true, but now that Frieza is being done in this DLC, maybe the last DLC could be a new unique villain, but if it's not, then it'll just be Broly, because again, Broly is super omega hyper popular, and a supervillain version of him would be in line with the rest of the characters released, which is just doing the main antagonists from DBS versus Ultra Supervillains. Now, I would hate if the last one was Ultra Supervillain Hit, because he's not really a villain, he's just an antagonist. But the others are like kind of like, Jiren is pretty villainous. I would say Jiren honestly acts more like a villain than an antagonist, but Hit was literally just doing a job. So please don't be Ultra Supervillain Hit. Hit does not need any more glaze. And I think that's a good place to end the video. I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care and peace.